Hello everyone, thank you for joining us wherever you are. I'm Gulo from Jadi PNS, will be your host. Now we are with Rocky Dawuni, known as two-time Grammy nominated musician, an international music star, and also Africa's UN Goodwill Ambassador for the Environment. Hello Rocky, how are you?
I am doing very well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. Thank you so much, Rocky, for joining us, and we are really excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here too, and then get to have a conversation on an issue that it's very important for all of us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rocky. And then we go to the first question. Where were you and how old were you when you first realized you were passionate about music?
Um, well, I can dial it way back to the age 5, when I really have a vivid remembrance of, you know, being going to a neighbor's house and hearing the neighbor play their record collection. And by then, too, the neighbor had a window. So every time we, the kids, will go and hang out behind the window. So when he's playing his record collection, he doesn't even know that there's a whole lot of kids listening to him because he's playing in the house. So we will just wait there and listen. And I remember just something, a moment dawned on me that, this was an art form that had a lot of resonance with me. And I understood music in a very simplistic way. And I knew that me, myself, within me, I can do this. So it was kind of a dawning of the realization that music was going to be my path. And then since then, I haven't looked back, in terms of expanding the realms of it, and with the blessing of achieving success at it as well.
Great. And how do you tell the community about climate change through your music?
Well, for me, I like to use, the word climate change, I feel, to some extent, it boxes their issue into a few words. I think it's an overall issue of disharmony of our practices and the way we live our life, and also the earth. And that disconnect and disharmony is now reflecting so many things in terms of when it comes to the earth. First of all, climate change, I feel the first indictment will be our losing the responsibility of knowing that this is a beautiful earth, is gifted to all of humanity, and our responsibility is to take care of it, conserve it, protect it, so that it can serve us and also serve generations. That's the first one. Secondly, it's also when it comes to progress, we are all aspiring to progress, but progress that doesn't have a balance of a sustainable model is bound to not be sustainable. And in the long run, there's going to be certain cost to it. So all of these things, I feel that when even you take the narrative of climate, it's in terms of, the overpollution of, industry, and also in the developed world where there's so much emission that are part of, the modern sense of progress. And at the same time, too, when you go to the Amazon, you have all the deforestation in a place too that, had the ecosystem to be able to take care of, the air and the earth and all of that and clean it up, that there's also an attack on that aspect. So everything points to that the actions that we are putting there has put us at in a certain situation whereby the negative impacts too that are part of our our universe and ecosystem is now we're seeing, it's the results of that action, be it the deforestation of trees, the pollution of waterways, the clearing of the non-attention to soil and overusage of soil in terms of, and then also using pesticides and chemicals that eventually has polluted the waterways and the land that could create clean food for us. So I see climate change as a holistic issue that requires a change in our attitude, at the same time too, taking those decisions too that will make sure that we are addressing, let's say, the fossil fuel usage and all of that too, in addition to a change in attitude of people.
Great answer. And what are the most pressing issues about climate change in Africa right now?
Well, the thing is that it's very too tangible. I say to zone in on one thing and say that this is the issues facing climate change would be in terms of not recognizing what the bigger issue is. Because I feel that when we talk of climate change, is it in terms of the increase in the rainfall, or is it in terms of, let's say, the cutting of the trees and the change in terms of the drought that is happening in, parts of Africa and the food shortages, So it's very hard to say that this is the particular issue that climate change is causing. But what I know and what I am aware of is that we are going through challenges right now that are due to the environment, certain things failing in the environment. First of all, people used to be able to predict the seasons and, balance their harvest according to, especially in Ghana, okay, this is the time the rains are going to come. So we plant our crops and we know the rains come at this time, and then we harvest at this time. And then there's also a smaller season where the rains come. Now, all of those calendars that were part of indigenous knowledge have shifted around, so you have farmers, planting, on time as they used to do, but then the rains don't show up on time. So by the time the rains come, then maybe their crops have already, their crops have already kind of withered because of lack of rain. So I feel that what is doing that is changing the pattern of predictability that people used to have to be able to make sure that they plant food at a certain time and then they harvest at a certain time, which in the long run is also impacting, food security and ability to also have the right harvest and be able to have enough abundance to deal with the food issues within the country and at the same time to use some for export and all of that. So that is the tangible issues that I'm seeing, that the change in weather patterns has resulted impacting, pattern of rainfall and, limiting the ability to predict, in terms of when crops should be planted. And in this sense, too, this has resulted in food insecurity, which has resulted in the lack of livelihood for a lot of people, because mostly Africa is agriculture based. So a lot of people too have seen their livelihood go down. And then secondly too, governments will have to utilize, a bigger chunk of their national purse to import food, which they could have produced, and in the long run, take away funding that is needed for other sectors in order to deal with food issues. So it is impacting every aspect of the social structure. And I think that is the most tangible evidence that I can see about it. And then at the same time, too, there's a lot of, destruction of due to like mining practices and, lack of certain awareness when it comes to protection of, forests and all of that. There is still a lot that is need to be done to make leaders take drastic measures to protect the land and also issue policies too that will make sure that some of the assets that are there, like the clean water and all of those, don't get destroyed because of industrialization and also because of trying to shore up economic prosperity, but then doing it at the cost of the environment. I think that those are some of the problems that I found, like, it's political, it's social, it's economic, and then it's also environmental.
Interesting. And Rocky, how does it feel to be a musician and climate activist at the same time?
The thing is that as a musician, you have a responsibility, you have a podium, and you also have many opportunities to communicate with people. So for me, it also gives me the ability to talk about the things that I feel concerned, that are of great concern to me. I believe that, what I sing about, it's about progress, it's about empowerment, it's about inspiring people, it's about creating harmony among people. It's about creating a better world. So an issue that I feel that goes to the heart of that vision is of key importance to me. An issue that I know will impact people is of key importance to me because, as I mentioned earlier, all these unpredictable changes that, for me, it is a result too of, policies and attitudes and kind of institutionalized addiction to certain ways of life have, come to a point where there needs to be people who are going to sound the alarm and at the same time to challenge us to see the issue and also bring us all together and focus us towards a pathway to finding solutions that will help us engage and deal with this issue. And I feel that for me, that is where the issue of environment comes in. And it has become a cornerstone of my advocacy. And so my music gives me the platform. And then my vision and intention too of trying to convene people from all walks of life, all social strata, all political levels, all echelons, all tribes, cultures, to pay attention to doing the right when it comes to environment, I feel is a definition of my mission.
Perfect. And what is your message for young people out there about climate change?
Young people are the catalyst for every social transformation. Young people are blessed with the energy, their ability to see issues too that will be integral to their prosperity, and also to have the opportunity to deal with issues that will have an impact in terms of, the world that they are going to inherit. So they are the central, shall I say, central point for any type of activism or any type of idea to take root and become successful. So for me, engagement with the youth and, as partners to, first of all, sensitize each other, hold governments accountable, hold business accountable, hold traditional authorities accountable, bring out the right information to and share and proactively demand action is a responsibility of everybody that is born in this time and every young people, So I feel that for the success of any my work, any initiative when it comes to climate, young people have to lead in this aspect. And by young people leading does not mean that the role of everybody is relinquished, but leading means that it is their responsibility, it is their fight, as it is all of us, our fight, and they should be at the center point of determining the pathways and also making sure that every idea that is good for creating solutions, they take it and become the central point to help it manifest.
What a great message for the young people. And last but not the least, what is Rocky's hope for a better world?
For me, in terms of a better world, it's you're hoping for so many things to happen. Right now you only have to read the headlines or turn on your phone, and there is so much negativity and so much information and division and at the same time to vanity and stuff that will make you lose hope in terms of collectively us being able to have the time and even the eyes to recognize what is going on in order for us to take the right actions. So, but for me, I believe that there's nothing stronger than our deepest will to create the world that we want to see. And I think that power of creation lies deeply within all of us. So if we want a positive world that is just, that is in harmony with the earth, that acknowledges indigenous knowledge, deals equitably with everybody, make sure that the resources of the world are not plundered by only a self-appointed few, and look at a vision that could be all-inclusive and uplift all of us, we can make it happen. So it's a choice that we can. So the hope is a choice for us. And I believe that if we choose that path and we work harmoniously without instilling self-interest as of primary importance, then I believe that we will manifest a world that is beyond the wildest of our imaginations. That is my hope.
Thank you so much, Rocky Dawuni, for your inspiring story.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then thank you everyone for joining us. Let's collaborate to make this world into a better place. I'm Gulo from Jadi PNS. Thank you and see you again.